Hi, this is Ruth. Welcome back to my channel. It is well. There has been a lot going on around here lately, and I was starting to feel a bit stressed out, a bit overwhelmed. My health sort of took a little bit of a turn for the worse. I haven't been dealing with a lot of pain like I was last year, but the symptoms of my disease seem to be progressing a little bit. I've been dealing with a lot of lightheadedness, some dizziness. My eyes have been having a hard time focusing, more fatigue and shortness of breath, and it just kind of hit me one day that I need to slow down a bit and I need to be a little more intentional about my overall health, which is a little bit hard for me. If you're a mom, maybe you can kind of relate because you're just always on the go, always busy, always taking care of everyone. And sometimes you come last, and sometimes that's okay. But right now, my health just needed to be taken a little more seriously. So I tried to scale back some on some commitments, on some activities, trying to simplify a little bit, trying to focus on the things that have to be done, the things that need to be done, and then take a little more time to do things like be outside in the fresh air, go on long walks, really buckle down on my eating a little more. It had slipped for a while. Just taking time to rest, taking time to be in prayer and in the scripture, which sometimes also, when life gets busy, sometimes those are the things that slip and those are the things that are most needful. So just trying to relax a little more, give my body a chance to rest and recuperate. Hopefully this week I'm set to begin some infusion treatments, which seem very promising. They've had really good results on people that have my autoimmune disease. So I'm excited to see if this medicine will help to improve my health. We also bought a home last week, which is really exciting, but it is a fixer-upper and it's going to require some work. You know, it's kind of a home that was well loved and well cared for by a family for over 40 years, and they're passing it on to us. And we were actually outbid, but they decided they wanted the home to go to a family rather than to an investor. So that was really a sweet thing that God did in providing this home for us. But the decor is kind of stuck in the, 70s, 80s. It's kind of orange shag rug and really floral wallpaper everywhere. So there's going to be a lot of projects, and I'm excited to work on those with my family. So anyhow, I just wanted to kind of give you an update and just pass along some things I've been thinking about. And one of those is that I think our culture and we as women often get so oriented on our performance and so oriented on what we're doing. I find that my identity is often tied up in my successes as far as, am I able to check things off my list? Am I able to keep my home clean and organized? Am I able to feed my family good and healthy food? Am I able to serve in my church? Am I able to keep my vehicle clean? Am I able to spend time with each kid individually? Am I able to do this? Am I able to do that? And we become very goal-oriented. I become very goal-oriented and I become very, my identity and my self-worth get tied up in my activity and in my work and in my progress that I'm making in different areas of my life. Timothy Keller has a quote where he says, "The world tells us to perform, and Jesus says to rest." And no, that doesn't mean we sit around on our butts all day and don't do anything. There are many good works that God calls us to, but we become very work-oriented and work-focused sometimes. And I think our identity and our self-worth and our value get tied up in that. And I've been thinking about the verse where Jesus didn't say it. It is the story of Saul, when he did not obey the voice of the Lord, and the prophet came to him and said to obey is better than sacrifice. And I've been thinking about that verse and how sometimes I want to sacrifice so much for myself, for my family, for Jesus. I want to sacrifice of myself. And while those things are good, sometimes God is saying something different, and I'm so tied up in what I think I should be doing that I'm not being still and listening to God's voice. And I need to be obeying him and doing what he has called me to do right now in this season, in this time of my life. And that is more pleasing to him than all the good works that I can muster up and all the duties I can perform. Our pastor preached out of a section of First Chronicles many years ago, and one little thing he said stuck with me. It's here in the middle, I'm looking at my Bible now, of where David is preparing for the temple building, and he's passing on the charge to his son Solomon to build the temple, but he's getting things ready. And he's organizing, one chapter says he's organizing the Levites. The next chapter, the heading is he organizes the priests. The next chapter is David organizes the musicians, the division of the gatekeepers, treasurers, officials, military leaders, all these important things. David is organizing the people. And then right in the middle, in chapter 27, verse 30, it says, over the camels was, and I don't know how to pronounce this man's name, so forgive me if I butcher it, Obile, the Ishmaelite, and over the donkeys was Jedaiah, something like that, the Meronothite. So if any of you know how to pronounce these names, you're probably laughing at me right now. But I just thought that was so interesting that in the middle of all these important people, all these leaders of Israel with all these skills and these important duties to carry out, these two men get mentioned who are over the camels and the donkeys. Not a glamorous job, not an important job. But you know what? It was important because they were doing what the king had assigned them to do. They were faithfully abiding in the place that the king had assigned them. And because of that, they get a mention in scripture. And what an example for us. We don't have to be doing important and great things. Do what God has called you to do in this season of life. Whether it's just staying home and taking care of a bunch of toddlers, whether it's going out to work every day, 9-to-5 drudgery job, whether it's something you love and are passionate about, whether it's something in the ministry where you're seen and heard by lots of people, whether you're an older person that has a vivid prayer life that no one sees. The scripture tells us to humble ourselves under the hand of God that he may exalt us in due time. So wherever the hand of God is, wherever he's calling you to be and to do right now, even if it's a season of rest, abide there. And that is where you can flourish, and that is where you can be most pleasing to God, is by serving him where he's called you to serve. And you will receive a full reward, whether that's a glamorous job, whether it's something simple. So it's like I feel God calling me to rest right now, to take some time to recharge my body. Part of that has been, like I said, trying to simplify life a little bit. And for me, personally, that's come with getting rid of some stuff. Every time I move, I find it's a wonderful opportunity to just get rid of stuff. I am kind of a minimalist by nature and by heart, but you know, you collect things everywhere you go. Your kids collect things, stuff just accumulates. So getting ready to move now, I'm going through drawers, getting rid of clothes. One little thing I did that made me happy this week was I looked at all my cups in the cabinet, and we accumulate cups, coffee cups, mugs, just tons of them. And I just went through and got rid of some of them. I bought some that all looked the same, that were in colors I liked. And now when I open the pantry, it's like, or the cupboard, it's like, oh, this is nice. This looks good. It's simple. It's clean. It made me happy. So I'm trying to simplify a little bit, trying to get rid of some things. Even in things like the meals I cook every day, I'm trying to pick simple ones. I'm going to share a chicken chili recipe that's just a dump and go in the crock pot type of recipe. You can literally put it in the crock pot in 5 minutes, cook it on low for 4 hours, and then you've got your dinner. So just thinking about how can I simplify life? How can I get rid of things? How can I free up some time so that I can rest? Taking long walks, spending time with my little kid at the park, just relaxing, because that's kind of what my body needs right now, and that's what I feel God calling me to do. This is a list of all the places I have lived since I was born. I counted them up today, and this will be my 25th place of residence in my 41 years. So I've moved a lot, and I don't mind moving. I settle into places quickly. I like to have my boxes unpacked within a couple weeks, pictures hung on the wall, and get back into the routine of life. So I don't mind moving. It's just another opportunity to get rid of things, to simplify a little more, to be in a new environment, to recreate beauty around me. I love decorating and finding treasures at the thrift store, so I'm looking forward to that. But just wanted to share a little life update, and if you would, pray for me this week while I get my infusion treatment, that my body handles this drug okay and that it works. And for our family, as we pack and move, I'll be excited to share with you in the coming weeks what our house looks like now, which is, we call it our ugly house, and all the little DIY projects we're going to be doing and how we transform it into a place that hopefully will be a lovely home for us and for our friends and family for many years to come. So I hope you've been encouraged today. Abide in the place where you are. Rest. Do what God's called you to do. Rest in Jesus, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, this is the easiest chicken chili recipe in the world. It's also a Weight Watchers recipe, so there's not a lot of calories in it. It's pretty healthy for you, super simple. In this colander, I have 1 can of pinto beans, 1 can of white beans, which are under there somewhere, and 1 can of corn. So I've just rinsed them all off together. You need about 2 pounds of chicken. You can do thighs or chicken breasts. I have a little more than 2 pounds there. In this bowl, I have 2 teaspoons of cumin, a teaspoon of garlic powder, some salt, and some pepper, 4 cups of chicken stock, and 16 ounces of green salsa. I'm just going to put it all in my slow cooker and cook it on low for 4 hours. Then take the chicken out, shred it, return it, and top it with your favorite chili toppings.